Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Masters of the Universe Classics, Bubble Power Shira, or also known as Shira 2.0. Mattel is answering the fans by making some much-needed improvements to the Shira action figure, while at the same time presenting her with a new outfit and accessories that gives us the option to display her as one of the variants. There's a lot going on with this new figure, so let's jump right in and take a look at her. Bubble Power Shira comes to you on the standard Masters of the Universe Classics blister card packaging, complete with a Princess of Power logo on the front. The back features a look at some of the other figures already released, and gives us a brand new bio for Shira. Based on one of the variants in the classic Princess of Power toy line, Shira 2.0 comes packaged wearing her Bubble Power Shira outfit. So let's start by taking a look at that. Shira is wearing a winged mask over her head that is very reminiscent of the kind from the original toy line, much more so than the one that was included on the first Shira figure. This one features a very sparkly pink sticker on either side of her face. The outfit that she's wearing is pink and gold, and almost has this really nice pearlized, shiny look to it. Alright, so we've actually got a lot to talk about with Bubble Power Shira here. So let's first go ahead and take a look at the way she comes packaged in her Bubble Power Shira outfit. Now the outfit is actually just a new armor type piece that's over the regular Shira outfit, so I'll show you how that works in just a bit. But you can see, just like with the Shira before, she does have the long hair. It is made of a harder plastic. It's got a little bit of give to it, but it's still really hard. Because of that, it does hinder the movement of her head. You can get some left and some right movement with her head, but you can see that it does kind of hit the arms and the shoulders, and it's going to stop that. But I think the worst offense is that she's still she can't look up at all, and she's kind of got that stuck looking down pose going on, kind of like Tila and the Shira before. So the hair still does kind of get in the way, and she's kind of looking down. It's not terrible. But you're not going to get her to have any kind of looking up poses or anything like that. So, again, this is just like the Shira before. I had the same issues with the other Shira figure, so it's really nothing new there. And honestly, they actually improved a lot of things on the actual Shira figure. So even though you still can't move the head, there's still a lot of good things coming, I promise. Alright, the next step is we have the mask. Now, this is modeled after the vintage action figure mask, and if you remember, the first Shira figure that came out also came with one of these. But the way that it worked is there was a little hole in her head, and you actually had to plug the mask into the hole on her head to get it to stay. This time around, there is no hole in Shira's head, and the mask stays on via these little clips on the side. So that is actually pretty cool. You don't have to worry about the hole in her forehead anymore. This will allow fans to pose Shira with her mask off if they would like to do that. I know a lot of people were upset that they couldn't really pose her without the mask, without having a hole in the middle of her head. So now you've got the option to do that. Now the mask, you can flip it upside down to wear it over the eyes. You have to kind of position it just right in order to be able to do that. As you can see, the clips aren't actually really designed for that. They're only positioned to fit the other way around. So you can still get it to sit on her head like this, but you can see how they're hanging way off the top of her head. So it's not going to be a very tight grasp on there, but it's possible. You can still pose her like that. So that is also good news, because I know some fans were worried that they wouldn't be able to use this option, but you can. It does work. So good news there. For accessories, Bubble Power Shira includes the same axe that was included with the first release of Shira, and continues to pay homage to the vintage comb.
She also includes this cool bubble power sword. It features a pink gem embedded into the hilt on both sides. Now, unlike the sword that came with Catra, this one is made of a much sturdier plastic, and the gems do not pop out of it. However, you will notice that mine still came with a nasty warp at the tip of the blade. It almost looks like it was chewed on. She has the same classic Shira shield, only this time it's done with a nice two-tone gold color, and it features a pink gem instead of the usual blue one. And lastly, she has the bubble weapon, which is a simple recreation of the actual bubble blower that came with the vintage figure. Now, I don't know if this one actually works because I didn't have any liquid bubbles to test it with, but the white piece does turn. It's a little tight and it doesn't turn very loosely, but it does rotate, so it's very possible that this thing might actually blow bubbles.
Alright, so now that we've got the bubble power stuff out of the way, let's take a look at the new Shira 2.0 body that is underneath this costume. So you can just pop the head off, just like you can with all your standard Masters of the Universe Classics figures. Cape slides right off. By the way, I do want to mention that the cape is a little softer on this one. I noticed it's a little more rubbery than the red cape on the original Shira. Alright, so, like I mentioned before, this new pink outfit is actually a new armor piece that just sits over the standard white Shira dress. So you just have a clasp right here on the back that just snaps right off. And then you can slide the armor right off the neck right there. And we've got ourselves the new Shira body. Now, before I go and pop a head off, I'm sorry, I'm going to leave her decapitated for a minute, because I actually do want to show you the new features of the Shira 2.0 body. There are some changes here. She's a little more articulated than before, which is a really, really nice plus. So first of all, we have a waist twist now in the joint. So now she can turn her waist side to side. Before the actual Shira outfit, here, I'll just pull the other Shira up here. You can see that on the original outfit, there was no waist cut because it was just one full outfit over the body. So now we've actually got that waist cut. You can actually turn her side to side. The dress is made of a softer plastic. It's not too soft, but it is a little softer. But most important is that there are slits in the side of the dress now. They actually don't look bad. They don't look out of place at all. It works really well, and it allows her to do this. You can actually get her in practically a full-on, yeah, there you go, full-on splits you can do with this figure now. Her legs are now able to straddle a horse like Swiftwind, so we don't have to worry about the issue of Shira not being able to ride her steed. Forward-backward movement is also greatly increased, all because of these little slits in the side of the dress. It's pretty amazing how well this works, actually. Very nicely done. And there you can see the, look up her skirt there. You can see the little articulation in her legs and how it works. It works really, really well. This is something that Shira definitely needed. So, there we go. Of course, I did already mention, too, that she's got a little more detail going on there. She's got more details on the boots, more details on the wrist gauntlets. But the actual standard Shira outfit is practically there. So, this is where it gets fun. Now that we've got this new Shira 2.0 body, we've got all these different parts, and they're all removable. This pretty much leaves you the option to mix and match parts to build your perfect Shira action figure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first release Shira. I'm going to take the Filmation style head, and I'm going to take the red cape. And as you can see, I'm using the silver Filmation style sword from the weapons pack. Basically, my goal here is to create one that is more Filmation looking. I mean, that's the style I prefer. Of course, I know that there are many different opinions out there. There's a lot of great Shira fans who like their Shira different ways. And I think the cool thing is now that we've got all these different options, you can almost create your perfect Shira. So there we go. We got the new body. We can slide the new red cape on. We can take the old head with the Filmation crown or the tiara there. We can just pop it on this new body. I still kind of run into the same problem as I used to, where It's a little hard to get her head on the peg, and I did notice this earlier that it's got a little bit of a bobble. It's not too bad. Mostly she's just kind of got that looking down pose. I really wish I can get her to look up a little bit better, but she's kind of always looking down. But there you go. I mean, you can see the head fits right on the body. The red cape fits on. We can take the shield with the blue gem. We can take the silver sword, the Filmation style sword, pop it in her hands, and to me, I have now created my perfect Shira action figure. So I've got better articulation, I've got more details in the outfit, more details on the boots, the wrist gauntlets. She can turn her waist for some more dynamic poses with the sword. You know, we can get a wider leg stance. I mean, we have got an awesome looking Shira figure here now. This is really, really great. And best yet, I mean, let's just show this off. Here's Battle Cat. Swiftwind's not out yet, but you know, we got Battle Cat, and Shira can ride Battle Cat, something she could not do before. So we've got her on Battle Cat there, and maybe just to get a better feel for what's to come when Swiftwind comes out, we're going to borrow Link's horse Epona from The Legend of Zelda, just so we have a nice little horse here. It's a little small for her, but there you go. There's Shira on a horse. You know, getting ready for Swiftwind to show up. She can actually ride a horse. How awesome is that? Very, very, very cool indeed. So, again, I mean, this is great right here. I mean, and then if you still want to display your bubble power parts, you know, you can always just pop those on the old Shira body if you're not going to use it anymore, and you know, you can still display yourself a bubble power Shira up on the shelf. Say you want to use the toy mask that's in the silver colors from the first release, you can use that head and put it on this body. Better articulation, a little more detail using the old toy head. I mean, you can mix and match. There are so many different options we have now to pretty much create your perfect Shira action figure. So I really think that Mattel did a great job with this one. I think it's going to really help out a little bit for our displays, and it's going to make a lot of the Shira fans out there happy.
The detailing is much improved here. The gauntlets have more design to them and are a beautiful two-tone gold. Same goes for the boots. The emblem on the front of her dress is also shaped a little differently, and you'll notice it's all above that newly added waist articulation. Alright guys, it's comparison time! Here's the new Shira 2.0 alongside the first release of Shira, just so you can see the changes side by side. And while I unfortunately do not have the classic Bubble Power Shira, here's a photo so that you can see her relation to that figure. Mattel and the Four Horsemen really did a pretty amazing thing with this second release of Shira, in my honest opinion. Being able to mix and match all the different Shira parts we now have to create your desired figure is absolutely brilliant. That Bubble Power outfit even fits on the first release Shira's body, so if you still want to display the variant after swapping parts, you absolutely can. The fact that we have several different heads now, with the original figure Tiara, the Filmation style Tiara, the Bubble Power Tiara, we have the different swords, the gold one from the original release, the silver one from the weapons pack, this new gold and pink one. There's just so many different ways we can mix and match all these parts to create the absolutely perfect Shira for your display shelf. I don't think I even realized how much of an update that the figure actually needed, as I was really happy with the first release of Shira, but I must say it's amazing the difference it makes being able to pose Shira with a wider stance and with her waist turned. And the little touch-ups like the detailing on her costume is just icing on the cake. I cannot wait to get Swiftwind now, knowing that Shira will actually be able to properly mount her steed. Shira 2.0 will be available on MattyCollector.com in November 2011, and she is not part of the Eternian Collectors Club subscription. So if you want her, you're gonna have to head to Maddie to order her. And I guarantee if you're a Shira fan, you're gonna want this figure. Until next time.